Hi, sixth graders. We're going to continue with your parts of speech, and we're going to keep going with adjectives, which I think is number 3 on page 204. So adjectives modify or describe nouns. Modify is the teacher word for the word describe. And adjectives answer the question or questions, how many, what kind, which one, or whose. And I got rid of this text box on accident, so we're going to pretend that I could type there. We'll say Ben has, this one's going to be a how many, so we'll say 5 friends. The 5 modifies friends. It tells us exactly how many. Ted wore let's see, what color should we give him for his tie? I would say pink. He has a pink tie. I could put colorful tie. I could put tie-dyed tie. That would be kind of hard to say. Juan knows. Now, we talked about pronouns yesterday. We did not talk about possessive pronouns like his, hers, ours, theirs, or their, but we did talk about that this year. So I'm going to say our aunt. Juan knows our aunt. Whose aunt? Our. It gives it more specific information. I am blank and blank. So I'm going to say for me, first thing I think of is short. I am short and musical. Okay, those are 2 adjectives that describe me. Okay, I saw the blank car. This is kind of like playing Mad Libs. Let's see, I saw the, what's a good word for size? Enormous. Orange car. So it really stood out to me. Okay. All right, so adjectives are fun to use or describing words. So let's see if you guys can figure out how many. I'm going to put an apple next to each one. Number 1, Cindy has long red hair. There are 2 adjectives there. They're words that describe nouns. So Cindy, I know, is proper noun. Has is a linking verb, or I'm sorry, action verb. Long, yep, that's a describing word. Hair is a noun. What kind of hair? She has long red hair. Sorry about that. Okay. Number 2, Tom has 2 books for math class. Well, Tom is a noun. Has is also a verb, like up there. Oh, 2 is a number. It tells me how many books. Okay, I know books is a noun. For math class. What kind of class? Math. So if you're stuck, find the nouns first and then see if there are any words that describe the nouns. So let's try that for number 3. The new girl pointed at that boy. Well, I know girl, that's a noun, and boy, that's a noun. Does anything describe girl? Well, yeah, the and new. Now we learned that the is an article. It's kind of a special type of adjective, so I'm going to leave it alone for now. Let's see, boy, that boy. And that is actually a demonstrative adjective, but it is an adjective. It tells me which boy, that boy. So those are adjectives. Number 4, the expensive car was in the lot. Let's see, car is definitely a noun. What kind of car? Expensive. Now, lot is also a noun. There is the in front of it. That's an article. I'm going to leave it alone. Number 5, good friends are hard to find. Friends is the only noun in there. What kind of friends? Good friends. So those are all the adjectives there. Now again, that's an article. A, and the. Special category of adjectives. We talked about this yesterday. Do you guys see some linking verbs here? Is, smells, is. So when you have a linking verb, you can connect the subject to the adjective. Okay, driving equals faster. It equals horrible. Faster is an adjective. Let's see, can I move these? I can. Faster is an adjective. How close should I get? Okay. Horrible is an adjective. The child is very happy. What word is describing child? Happy. Even though it comes afterwards, that's fine. It's still an adjective. They can come before or after. For those of you guys that speak Spanish, sometimes In the Spanish language, they put the adjective after the noun anyway. That's just how they do it. Let's see, I can't get that one right there, can I? Okay. Manny grew tired of the game. Again, is, or I could put an equal sign. Manny is tired. Tired describes Manny. Okay. All right. So let's go back to your page, which looks like this. Good. I did it right. So now we're on adjectives. Write down some examples. Let's see. I'm going to put a number. 3 would be an adjective. How many classes do I have? I have 3. My 3 classes are a lot of fun. Let's see. So that's a number. What kind? I can say smart. My 3 classes are smart. Smart is describing classes. Okay. Which class? This class. The class of 2020. Okay. Those are just examples of adjectives. Okay. Let's move on to adverbs. Adverbs describe a verb. So up here, adjectives describe nouns or pronouns, but adverbs, and hopefully that's easy, the word verb is in it, describes a verb, but it can also describe an adjective or another adverb by telling, and I would underline this, how, why, even, or to what extent something is done. So you're always looking for the action of how something is done. So let's get into it. Adverbs modify verbs. Adjectives and other adverbs. So example, the man laughed quietly. Hopefully you guys know that laughed is the action verb. How did he laugh, or to what extent? He laughed quietly. And this one's easy. Adverbs often end in ly, but not always. In fact, the word often is an adverb, doesn't end in ly. Number 1, Kimberly was very pleased. So very is our adverb. What is it describing? It's describing pleased. Let's see. I'm going to grab this one. How pleased was she? Very. So this case is describing an adjective. And I grabbed the wrong one. I apologize about that. Okay. It's describing. Let's see. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. It's describing a verb. That one's actually, I think I'm going to go back to my first answer. Because I could say Kimberly equals pleased, so that means that an adjective. They got me on that one. Hopefully you guys got it right the first time. All right, Rhonda quickly dropped the sign. Quickly is our adverb, ends in ly. It tells how she did something. It tells how she dropped the sign. So that is a verb. It's describing the verb. This is an adverb, but it's describing how she dropped it. Bert spoke quite loudly. Well, how did he speak? I can't say he spoke quite. He did speak quite loudly, and that one's the adverb, the main adverb for spoke. Quite, is also an adverb, but it's not describing this verb. It's describing another adverb. And this is an example of to what extent. Quite loudly is very loudly. It's not just a little bit loudly, it's a lot loudly. So quite is actually describing or modifying an adverb. Okay. Sue will not return the book. Not is an adverb. Not sure if you guys knew that, because it's telling when something happens. In this case, it's not going to happen. So it's actually describing the verb, will return. And it's right in the middle. Okay, not is not a helping verb, but it's an adverb. And it can go in between the helping verb and the main verb. The class will be starting soon. Adverb, again, it's not soonly, doesn't end in ly, but it tells us when the class will be starting. So it's modifying starting. will be starting, which is a verb phrase, so it's another verb. So adverbs are special. They can modify more than just verbs, more than what their name implies. The teacher was extremely concerned. Okay, hopefully that's obvious. ly, many adverbs end in ly. And it's telling to what extent the teacher is concerned. So in this case, this is a linking verb. I can put an equal sign, so that makes that an adjective. So this is modifying the adjective. Number 7, Jeff ran very quickly. So he didn't run very. He ran quickly. So this is an adverb, but so is very. But it's not describing ran necessarily. It's describing how quickly he ran. So it's describing this adverb. Don't worry, there won't be a test on this. But just know that adverbs modify more than one thing. Number 8, I will see you later. It's when will I see you? So it is describing this verb. Okay? Excellent. That is tricky though. All right, see if we can find them. Put a smiley face under each adverb. The cute puppy was very sweet. Well, that's an article. That's an adjective. That's the noun. That's the verb. I have very and sweet. Well, sweet's an adjective. It describes a noun. But we just talked about very. It says how sweet, so it's describing the adjective. Number 2, Sam never wants to walk the dog. Well, how often does he want to walk the dog? Never, as my daughter would say. She loves to say never when I ask her to do something. Andrew laughed quite loudly. So laughed is a verb. Is there anything describing that? There is, quite and loudly. So there's 2. Loudly is describing laughed, and quite is describing loudly. They're all working together. And often we do use them together, especially if you're being a descriptive writer. Tim will visit his brother later. Visit is the verb, and later tells us when he's going to visit. Okay, every word in every sentence has a part of speech. You just have to know what they are. And number 5, the puppy is so small. So is describing small. How small is it? So small. And that's an adverb describing the adjective. All right. So let's go back and put some examples. So adverb, am I still in pen mode? I can't tell. Yeah, I am. Okay, so adverbs. So loudly would be 1. Again, ends in ly. So I would underline that ly. Very is a common one because that's going to describe an adverb or an adjective. And then let's do one with time. When is someone going to do something? They'll do it later. Okay. Excellent. So I will go ahead and stop it there. And we just did adjectives and adverbs. And then in the next video, I will do conjunctions, prepositions, and interjections because they're a little bit easier. They're shorter. But you have learned about all of those this year already. So again, this is all review, right? All right, then I will see you guys in a minute.